My name is Leanna Pancoast, and today I'm going to talk to you about taking two-dimensional materials and transforming them into three-dimensional materials. That's right, I'm talking about origami, the ancient art of paper folding. Now, when you think of origami, you'll probably think of an origami crane and the rule of folding a single uncut square. But you can do so much more with it if you are able to fold more than just a square, more than just paper. And I'll show you a few examples of what people have done with folding just a single uncut square, and also what can happen when you fold other materials. So the first thing that you can start off with folding an uncut square is just using one fold. This is a piece by Paul Jackson, who likes to experiment with just using one fold to create interesting objects, to create something that looks really nice. But you can do a lot more with origami by adding a lot more intricacies to make a house centipede, or it's advancing without me, okay. Or having all of the details in this, I am not doing that, okay. In this archangel with all the feathers, with the fingers, the hair, the sword. And you can also use origami to make something more mathematical, like this tessellation here, which was designed by David Huffman. David Huffman, the same guy who made Huffman coding that you may be familiar with as an algorithm in computer science. And if you use origami with paper, you can also take advantage of both sides of the paper and create the stripes on a tiger, or create the hair and the mane on a lion. And with this, you can see an example of a technique called wet folding, where you're able to wet the paper as you fold it and create these beautiful curves to make it act more like clay instead of these harsh lines. So here's a lot of examples of what you can do with paper. What can you do with things that aren't paper? And I'm not just talking about folding a dragonfly out of a dollar bill. No. I'm talking about trying to fold polymers that are the size of human hairs. And this is a video of the temperature-activated plastic folding and unfolding into a crane. And here at Cornell, there's some research being done with graphene, which is a single atom layer of carbon, and they're able to manipulate it similar to paper. And so those are things that are really small. Let's try to go bigger. How big? A 100-meter telescope lens big. Now, this isn't 100 meters, but it is a prototype of a lens that they want to make for a telescope to go into space. This is Robert Lang. He helped design this, and they weren't able to get funding to make a 100-meter prototype. But there is an example of something in space that uses origami, and they are some solar panels that were designed by a guy named Koryo Miura. And with that, it brings me to my project that I work on, which is trying to make a foldable LED screen. Now, I don't have this prototype working yet, but I do have this plastic model that shows you how nice it is to have something to fold and unfold with just one hand. And this brings origami back from space, back from something so small you can't see it, to something that you can interact with. And this is an example of a project that I did in my undergrad to make an origami petting zoo. So we took 9-foot wide photo backdrop paper and made these animals that you're able to go and pet. And we took it one step further and used an Arduino, which is a little microcomputer, to be able to detect when a hand is near the animal so that they're able to respond to you. So, for example, we had the koi fish roar like Chewbacca, or make a Chewbacca noise, and we had the fox sing, "What does the fox say?" And to come back to Cornell, this is a picture of a fashion line by Vogel, which is a Cornell-based company, fashion line, and Wynn is one of the co-founders here. And They have an origami-inspired fashion line that they showed at Vancouver Fashion Week about 2 weeks ago. And this is one of their bags that they had that was a huge hit with the crowd, and it's able to fold and collapse. Now, I've shown you a lot of things today. I've shown you what people can do with a single uncut square, what you normally think of origami. You can go small, you can go big. You can have something that's just a structure that you only want to watch and not touch, to something that you can interact with and wear. Thank you.